Some people love silently giving their all, and we only realize it when it's too late. Wow, that is a heavy, heart-stopping thought, isn't it? It's exactly the kind of phrase that makes you freeze mid-scroll and really think about the people in your own life. And honestly, that is exactly what it is designed to do. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct the engineered viral tragedy reel. We'll be looking at how creators combine visual aesthetics with really profound storytelling to completely captivate millions. And to do this, we're going to use a truly heartbreaking story of a father's sacrifice to show you exactly how this emotional machinery works. Here is our roadmap for today. First, the art of tragic storytelling. 2, crafting the perfect hook. 3, building emotional connection. 4, delivering the cruel twist. And 5, a legacy of light. All right, let's jump right in. Section 1, the art of tragic storytelling. The blueprint. So, making a viral tragedy reel, it isn't just random luck. It's actually a highly strategic execution. It relies on a precise 5-step formula. You've got the hook, the emotional buildup, very specific visual aesthetics, a shocking climax, and finally, a resolving message. If you miss even one of these steps, well, the whole emotional house of cards just kind of falls apart. Moving on to Section 2, crafting the perfect hook, the 3-second rule. In this world, the 3-second hook is absolute law. You literally must start with a deeply emotional sentence or a visual cue that strikes a chord so fast that your viewer's thumb physically cannot swipe away. It's a make or break moment. Let's look at how this works in action. Imagine a haunting silence just as dusk begins to fall. We open on a man named Bashir Ahmed. He is sitting on a bus, totally stuck in the relentless, noisy gridlock of Dhaka City, just staring blankly out the window. In his lap, he is carefully guarding a small plastic bag holding a newly purchased red frock and a packet of cashews. Right away, this visual establishes weariness, scarcity, and a really silent, profound love. Boom, the hook is set. Section 3, building emotional connection. Struggle and sacrifice. Now, you can't just jump straight to the sad part, right? You really have to earn it. The strategy here centers on silent struggles. For 26 years, Bashir has worked brutal overtime at a factory just to see his brilliant daughter, Rima, get her master's degree. And the tragedy is amplified by his physical sacrifice. See, last year, a stroke left his right hand permanently paralyzed, yet he absolutely refuses to stop working for her dream. This brings us to the peak of emotional warmth. Rima calls. She desperately needs her final semester exam fees by tomorrow or she can't take the test. Bashir, he doesn't have a single penny in his pocket. Driven by this incredible love, he mortgages his absolute last possession, the deed to a tiny piece of ancestral land in his village, securing 20,000 taka. As he rides that bus to send her the money, clutching that red frock she always loved, you feel hopeful. The viewer actually feels his triumph. But then we hit Section 4, delivering the cruel twist, shattered plans. Notice the rapid escalating pacing here. One moment, Bashir is holding the money in the red frock on the bus, feeling victorious. The next moment, his phone rings. It's a junior friend from Rima's university. The whiplash is totally intentional and utterly devastating, as he receives the kind of news no parent should ever hear. In a trembling voice, the girl says, "Kaku, Rima, Apu. Apu is no more." Rima had been severely ill for 3 months. But terrified of missing her exams and causing her father pain, she hid it. She passed away at her study table. The phone slips from Bashir's paralyzed hand, clattering to the floor of the bus. The surrounding chaos of the city vanishes into thin air. Just like that, 26 years of sweat and dreams turn to absolute dust in a single heartbeat. The visuals must amplify this whiplash. The strategy dictates contrasting the chaotic, honking noise of the bustling Dhaka city with the sudden, suffocating silence of Bashir's internal grief. The driver shakes him at the last stop. He stumbles off, sitting on the sidewalk, his whole body shaking. He pulls out the red frock and the cashews. There are no tears left in his eyes, just an empty, soul-crushing sob stuck in his throat. It's visual storytelling at its most potent. Which brings us to Section 5, Legacy of Light, Resolution and Message. After the heavy weight of despair, the narrative has to offer redemption. Sitting there, Bashir looks up to see a shivering, starving 10-year-old orphan girl asking for 2 takas, and in that moment, the dam breaks. Tears finally stream down his face. He doesn't just give her a few coins. He stands up, wraps his own old shawl around her, gives her the red frock, the cashews, and the entire bundle of 20,000 taka meant for his daughter's exam. He looks at her and says, "Ma, this is for you, and with this money, study hard. Promise me, you will never go hungry again." This beautifully illustrates the complete narrative arc. We started in Chapter 1 with a father trapped in a gridlock city, guarding a narrow dream for his one and only daughter. But we end with him walking alone into the dark night, his heart completely expanded. He realizes that while Rima might be gone, there are hundreds of Rimas growing up hungry and neglected. His empty arms are finally filled with the love of all children. Ultimately, this engineered narrative works so incredibly well because it turns the camera around on us. It leaves us with a haunting final thought. Have you ever actually noticed the silent burdens your parents carry? What sacrifices are happening right in front of you every single day? These stories might be designed for a screen, but the emotions they unlock, those are urgently, beautifully real. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, take a real moment to look closely at the ones you love.